Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. With Humza Yousaf off on his happy holidays, all at taxpayers' expense, staying in his 5-star luxury hotel, having flown there business class, and he's flogging meat, basically. He's off to flog the meat. Lamb, now, not flogging his own meat. Although, he probably is, because obviously the Saturday girl isn't there yet, so he will be flogging his own meat. But he's selling lamb to the Arabs, basically. I don't know how the whiskey push is going, but the lamb seems to be doing quite well. But while he's gone, Shona Robison is taking care of the ranch. And what a really poor job she's making of it. Because, of course, this is the woman who said she's only aiming to tell the truth, rather than actually telling the truth. And I think that is very telling in its own way. But she's had a hard time because everyone's asking her questions. And of course, it's very difficult when you've got an IQ of 86 to think on your feet and give sort of good answers to simple questions. And of course, she's not. She's giving terrible answers to some pretty good questions as it happens. We'll take a look at this to see why the Deputy First Minister is not really up to the task. First Minister isn't really up to the task either, so, why should she be any better? Here goes. So the SNP government defends dishonesty, as Shona Robison fails to say if ministers will always tell the truth. Now, of course, she said the other day that it's her aim to tell the truth, and by that announcement means that she often doesn't. But that's not a surprise to me, it's not a surprise to you, it's not a surprise to anyone who follows Scottish politics. We know the SNP lie about everything. She's probably even lying about that. But when asked if she's defending it, if you will always tell the truth, and she basically didn't say yes, which means in the distorted reality of politics, if you can't say yes, the answer's no. And so no, she can't always tell the truth. She's admitted it. Anyway, the Deputy First Minister was covering for Humza Yousaf, who has flown out to COP28 for no reason whatsoever, and she has faced tough questioning from Scottish Tory leader Douglas Ross, who continued to call on the Health Secretary to be sacked. Not within her gift, of course, to sack him, but she can't even defend him. What's she going to say? Yes, I agree that it's okay to lie. I mean, they do agree that it's okay to lie, but they can't really come out and blatantly say it, can they? The Scottish Government was accused of defending dishonesty after Humza Yousaf refused to sack his embattled Health Secretary, and his Deputy First Minister, Shona Robison, failed to say if the SNP ministers always tell the truth. That was a stupid question to ask, because we all know the answer. She was filling in for the First Minister, as he's flown out to Dubai on a taxpayer-funded junket to COP28, where he wasn't invited and has no legal standing. And he'd probably get photographs taken in the car park, waving to someone in the distance, pretending that he knows them. Anyway, as she faced pressing questions about Michael Matheson, why he was still in his job after misleading the media and MSPs about his £11,000 data roaming bill. See about 1 million videos beforehand. Obviously, he tried to claim the money back on expenses before being caught out and then claiming his children had been watching the football in Morocco, although he's provided no evidence of that. Although it'd be quite easy to provide the evidence, all he has to do is hand his iPad over, and yet still he refuses. And we all suspect we know why. We all suspect there's something pretty damn awful on it, and he doesn't want that coming out. Scottish Tory leader Douglas Ross highlighted that Miss Robison had said that the SNP ministers should only aim to tell the truth, and urged her government to finally sack Mr Matheson. He said it's quite clear this SNP government defends dishonesty. Michael Matheson claimed taxpayers' money when he shouldn't have. He changed his story. He made up ludicrous excuses. Does the Deputy First Minister seriously believe Michael Matheson has been 100% honest throughout this scandal? Where's she going with that one? He continued. Michael Matheson once bragged about watching 6 football games in a weekend, but he wants us to believe that on holiday he never watched the games. He never knew the football was on at all. He never spoke to anyone about it. When a giant bill came in, Matheson was apparently clueless about it. And the problem for this SNP government is that the public don't believe Michael Matheson. A poll yesterday, he said, and we covered this yesterday in the video. A poll yesterday said showed the vast majority of Scots believe that he should step down. Even most SNP voters believes he needs to go. They can see he's not focused on the day job. And even, to be honest, even when he is focused on the day job, he's not capable of doing the day job. He's inept and incompetent and stupid. In the middle of an NHS crisis, the public needs to trust the health secretary, and they don't. Nurses and doctors need to know he's honest, and he's not. The health secretary has lost the confidence of the country, and he needs to go for the good of our NHS and the good of the entire country, I would suspect. Mr. Ross's final jab, I don't know, could be worth it, I tell you I would. Mr. Ross's final jibe was at Miss Robison's comments about the public sector needed to shrink and how that should start with Mr. Matheson. And in response, the Deputy First Minister laid out a number of other topics which the Scottish Tories could have talked about, including the budget. Yes, they could talk about many, many things, but that's not the important thing. The important thing is getting a liar and a thief and a fraudulent wanker out of government. A man who throws his own children under the bus should not be in any position of power. He's not a real man. He's a bit weak. He's vacillating. He's desperate to cling on. And yet we all know we can never believe anything he ever says again. He's got to go. And that's why this subject isn't being let go of. No matter how many times Shona Robison tries to deflect, change the subject and say, please God, will you talk about something else? Because we're really, really embarrassed over my colleague sitting over there looking glum and knowing his days are well and truly numbered for one reason or another. She said, of course, ministers should tell the truth. What I was referring to was that sometimes people get things wrong. Well, in the SNP's case, all the time. This is including Douglas Ross, who made a mistake worth around £28,000 when he was late with his outside earnings. Douglas Ross had nothing to say about an autumn statement that's given no money whatsoever for public services for this country. If the Tories don't care about that, the SNP certainly does, she said. Although I've yet to see evidence. Again, no evidence of what she's saying. The camera panned to Mr. Matheson, who was looking glum on the SNP front benches as Mr. Ross called for him to either resign or be sacked. He would do neither. Scottish Tory MSP Pam Gozel reacted to Miss Robison's answers on social media. As she said, if there was ever a deflection, that is it. And I just said it was a deflection. Douglas Formore asked whether the Scottish Government ministers always tell the truth. Very telling that Shona Robison failed to answer. And they'll never answer. They know. They can't say, yes, we always tell the truth, because they've been caught out in their own lies so many times. Then they lie, and then they get caught out in a lie trying to defend the first lie. We never believe a word they say, because they're just inveterate, mendacious, lying tosspots. Every single one of them. The SNP will never tell the truth. And she's just as bad. But of course, she's not very good at it. She's only got an IQ of 86. I'm coming up. Now, Hamza Yousaf will be sitting over there in Dubai by the pool, drinking pina coladas, thinking how nice life is. He'll pick up his phone, or his iPad perhaps, pick up his iPad. He'll tune into Parliament. He'll be watching Shona Robison make a complete dick of herself. And he'll be going, not me this time. Because it's normally him, isn't it? He'll be glad to get away. But of course, when he comes back, he's got a whole load of questions to answer, and he doesn't even realise it yet about how much it's cost, who's paying, why did he go, who did he meet, was he invited, was it official, what has he done, that kind of thing. And why is he not paying it out of his own pocket? And why are all the officials not paying it out of their own pocket? If they want to go, that's fine, but they pay. It's not an official visit. Anyway, let's round off there. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit that subscribe button. Do please press the like button. And let's not ever let these tossers off the hook with anything, because everything they do is crook, snide, or corrupt. And that's when it's not being inept and stupid. And it's sometimes, it's all of the above, isn't it? Till next time, stay safe, stay well, and I speak to you later. Bye.